Welcome to JSA TV Live, the newsroom for data center and telecom professionals, coming to you live today from Data Cloud Global Congress in Monaco. Said that too many times, I think, today. Yeah, but you know, Katie O'Hara is joining us, VP with Stream, and Yvonne Deere, also VP at Stream Data Centers. So happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us, and thanks to all the viewers at home and across the globe. Yeah. Hello from Monaco.
Yeah. And how's the event going so far for you?
So far, so great. It's hard to complain. It's a beautiful location. It's a lot of professionals and peers that we get to collaborate with. And our customers have a big presence here as well. So it's been very productive and fun at the same time.
Yeah, great. And Katie, I was going to ask you, so you've been with Stream 6 years now? Is that right?
6 years.
Yeah, so lots changed. I mean, I feel like every time we talk to you or someone from Stream, there's some big announcement happening, some expansion, or some growth story, really, whether it's with your team or with your facility. So tell us, what's the biggest thing, if you think about over the last 6 years and now, that you're seeing happen?
Yeah. Well, I mean, since I've joined Stream 6 years ago, we were about, I think, 50 people. Now we're about 150. So we've grown threefold over the past 6 years, which also is very reflective of how our industry has grown over the past few years.
Yeah.
And one major thing that I've seen in the industry recently is a focus on ESG. Yvonne, do you agree with that?
I do. So obviously the history of delivering large, complex projects for our customers has always been there with Stream. But as Katie pointed out, we did add and expand that team, especially to add a specific function around location strategy and development to be able to support some of these larger requirements that we're seeing these days out in the marketplace. So you take that, you couple that with what's going on with supply chain, you take that with what's going on with the utility constraints that we're seeing across multiple markets, take the history, take the land banking that we're able to do that some of our public counterparts and REITs can't necessarily do as freely as we can. And you've got a perfect alignment of everything to be able to engage with our customers earlier than we originally could to deliver some of these projects, 2 or 3 years out into the future.
Mm-hmm. And so, Katie, you're focused on strategic partnerships, I believe, and you're focused on hyperscale leasing. Both of these such important growth levers, I believe, for Stream data centers and for the industry, to be honest. But sort of, what are you seeing from a customer perspective in terms of trends and demand that's coming out of the market?
Do you want me to take it?
Yeah, go on.
So we actually were talking this morning, and she summarized it pretty well. And it's really, larger requirements coming through, driving the need for campus-like deployments. ESG is a big focus for a lot of our customers. They have very prescriptive, goals that they want to meet. and we get in there earlier and we engage earlier with them and we help them meet these, publicly stated goals. And frankly, that's not just to help them get there, but it's also the right thing to do for our environment. And we have a responsibility to leave this place better for future generations. So
And I understand that something like 90% of your inventory is leased to Fortune 100s. And how does that differ from, other deployments you could do? And what specific needs are you addressing for that particular part of the market?
Katie's been here 6 years. We've seen requirements change dramatically from 6 years ago to today. They've gone to a larger, size and campus-like deployments and got more sophisticated in the design elements. And so that earlier, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but that earlier engagement, because of what we're seeing in supply chain, because of what we're seeing on the utility end of things, has helped us as well as our customers realize that's how we set ourselves up for success. So having the ability to have this history of delivery, having the ability to have this team that sources these great locations for us, and having the team has the relationships, in place to capitalize on where the market is today, we just feel very fortunate, and that's why they come.
Yeah.
And earlier engagement is just key, is what you're getting at
Absolutely.
as well.
Yeah. And now we saw each other the other day. It feels like many days ago. I think it was 1 or 2 days ago. iMasons had an event for women, and then an advisory dinner, and both wonderful, both wonderful events. I know that you're all involved quite heavily, and you, Katie, are involved in specifically supporting some of the key pillars for iMasons. Can you talk about the work that you're doing with them, but also how it aligns to Stream's important pillars that are similar?
Yeah, well, Barb, as you mentioned, we had the iMasons women's event on Monday night before the conference, and we had about 200. We have 200 women at the conference out of 2,000 attendees, I believe. So that's 10%. We had about 100 women signed up for the event, and looks like we got about half there. And it was nice for everyone to kind of get together, get to know each other before the conference started, so that you had a familiar face going into the conference, especially for those women that are just entering the industry for the first time. I think it's important to kind of have that. Stream, we have a strong focus on diversity and inclusion as well. So just goes hand in hand with, Stream's goals and objectives as well.
And I see her go, and I'm just so impressed, because the biggest challenge is attracting talent, diverse talent into the industry. And a lot of folks write checks, and that's great. But Stream takes it a step further in that, this amazing resource is dedicated to some of those partner groups in making that outreach and getting somebody to the event and speaking to that someone about the industry, educating them, because we really believe it's the right thing to do. Diversity of thought, whether that's women, diversity of backgrounds, diversity of education, it just leads to better decision making as a business and for our customers. And that's a belief we carry around at the senior leadership level and all the way through.
It's one thing I always say this, and anytime I have the opportunity to speak to someone from the Stream team, it's just really so evident how you take that seriously internally, and how much focus is put on building your team, but also fostering growth within your organization, and you're embodying that and showing it, like you said, through some of your actions, Katie, that you've been doing with iMasons and more that the entire Stream team
That's right.
has been part of. So yeah, it's great. We're honored to talk to you whenever we have the opportunity. What can we look forward to over the next, I don't know, year?
So much. So we touched on it earlier. It's that function of, we have really smart folks that are really talented that join the team and that are primarily focused on finding, land sites and obvious locations where our customers, are saying these markets are important to us. But they're also looking in markets where it's not necessarily obvious just yet. North America, Latin America, South America, but it's that drive and kind of baseline within that group that's going to set us up to take it to the next, growth pillar, so to speak, and be able to help our customers meet their forecasts and meet their needs into the future.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Any final words from a partnerships perspective or anything along those lines?
Partnerships in terms of
Anything that you can just share, like anything you want us to sort of watch out for over the next year?
well, all the women's events that we're going to be having throughout all the different data center conferences. So
Yes. Yeah.
continuing that.
Yeah. I think we'll all probably be back together again in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
ITW.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, so for any of our viewers who want to connect with Stream, either here at the show or after, not everyone unfortunately was able to make the trip, but for those of our viewers that want to connect with you after, how can they find you?
LinkedIn or our website.
Yes. All right. Great. We'll put the website on the screen so
Yes.
everyone can see it and everyone can connect. And Katie and Yvonne, thank you so much for joining us today. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Barb.
Thanks for having us,
Thanks,
and thanks to
everyone.
GSA for having this amazing platform that allows us to get our message out there
Of
too.
course, yeah.
We appreciate it.
We're always happy to have you be guests here. So thank you. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in to JSA TV, coming to you live today from Data Cloud Global Congress. That's a wrap for today. We'll be joining you again tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. local time. And until then, enjoy the rest of your day and see you soon.